They've arrived. Yes, they're 15 minutes late, but we'll forgive them because I love them dearly. PC Plum and Miss Hoolie!
Good morning! We're late because Edie McCready didn't pick us up in our bus. That's why we're late. She's normally on time. We're terrible.
I'm not saying anything that we got majorly lost, so it's a bit of an atmosphere, but we'll be fine. Just carry on.
You're here now. You were on this morning yesterday as well.
We were.
Amazing.
It was really good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great.
Had a lovely time.
So did you get the train down?
We did.
Get the train down to this morning.
Did you have a carry out?
Yes.
On the way back, not on the way down. We're professionals.
I'll check you being a policeman.
I know. No, it was great. It's a bit weird because now we're back and everyone keeps going, "What are you doing down in London?" We're like, "We're here, we're back in Glasgow." So it's a busy week, so we had to come back, but it was brilliant fun. It was great. It's a riot.
I'm actually looking at the 2 years and I cannot believe it's the 20th anniversary of Balamory. You don't look, you've not changed in that 20 years.
We live in a loft.
They're with us this morning, Julie and Andrew, Miss Hoolie and PC Plum. We're very excited to have them here, and we'll have some of your questions to come next here on The Breakfast Show with Ewen and Kat. Stay right there.
Clyde 2.
20th anniversary of the TV show that my kids grew up with. It's Balamory, and we're delighted to have PC Plum and Miss Hoolie live in the studio with us this morning.
Good morning.
Good
Hello.
morning to Andrew. Good morning to Julie. It's lovely to see you. Was that a curse?
Was quite dark. It was quite a dramatic pause and all.
Good morning, everyone.
I liked it. By being in the show.
Do you know what it is? It might be because I've been speaking to you for the last 10 minutes or so. But see, when you're in such an iconic TV show and you're known as PC Plum and you're known as Miss Hoolie, do you ever escape it? Maybe that's a better way to ask the question.
Absolutely not. It goes everywhere, really.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It comes with you everywhere you go, which is lovely. I wouldn't say it's a curse because of that, but you do have lots of people, not so much now, but obviously when it started 20 years ago, you couldn't move. Everybody was just wanting a bit of you, and because you were just like you were getting mobbed all the time, and we were loving it. Don't get me wrong, we did love a bit of that when the show was popular, and we were going to Mull filming, and we were like the Beatles. It was quite exciting.
So many people have sent in messages that were actually on Mull at the time, or they're still there, and they seem to say that the cast and everybody integrated and they had such a good time. Did you just have
We
a
had the best time, and maybe some of them will be like older because actually we were up there nearly all the summer, and we ended up going to gigs and stuff. And one famous story that Miles Jupp texts me, and I'll keep this clean, we went to see a band up there called the Mull Historical Society. And there was a few drinks, let's just say.
Miss Hoolie on the swelling?
Absolutely. I mean, there'll be 40s, there'll be but we hung about with the locals because we basically took over their town, and they were very nice to us about it, but we knew all the kids and stuff like that. So yeah, there was quite a lot of lock-ins in the Mish, but that's because we were working with them all and stuff like that, and it was great. But
it was great. And the karaoke's and McGawkins. We were singing a wee hearts out.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of took over their town, and at first it was fine because nobody knew the show, and then by season 4, like, they had security and stuff like that. And,
yeah, they did.
So I'm politely saying maybe by the end they were like that. Bye bye now.
How many series were there?
4.
Was there only the 4? It feels like there was more than that.
256 eps.
Yeah,
in all.
there's lots of episodes in a series.
Yeah.
256 episodes.
Yeah.
Is that many? Wow.
And what's happening with they're putting them all back online, or are they putting some of them back online?
So they've got 25 on just now, I think, on iPlayer, which are from Series 4, so they're kind of later episodes, and they're very good. I watched some of them last night. I was having a lovely time to myself.
So they're on the BBC iPlayer. You're straight on and watching it, yeah.
Wait a minute, you weren't the only one watching last night.
I'm saying nothing.
Julie,
Aye.
your husband Greg, of course famous for Still Game,
Yes.
Victor, posted on Twitter last night that he was having Bacardi and watching you on the telly.
Well, we put it on, to be honest, I mean, he tanned in the Bacardi, and I was like, why are we still drinking this? But it was good, and then he started giving it, Miss Hoolie's hot, and I'm like, I'm sitting here, excuse me, I think he meant back in the day, but my 17-year-old Chevy'd never seen it. Our 21-year-old Benny had grown up with it, and he was 7 months old when I started filming it. But Chevy, I've got a video of Chevy watching it, wetting himself, and he was like, why are you singing like that? What are you doing? Oh like taking her ready, and I was like, shit. And then because obviously he knows Andy really well, that Andy's his godfather, and then my friend Juliet Cadzer, who's in her house all the time, and Miles is like, what's Miles doing? Why's he got a jumper on? It was actually hysterical.
So what you're telling me is that last time, I'm trying to picture this, you two are sat on the sofa drinking Bacardi, watching old episodes of Balamory, and Greg's thinking, Miss Hoolie's quite hot.
I know, it doesn't really get any sadder than that, does it?
Has he ever dressed up as Victor and you're Miss Hoolie?
That's enough of that.
Well, that's a
I
party
don't
I'd
know
like
where
to
you're
go to.
going there. That's well creepy.
Was there the crossover?
That's
That's
plenty.
minging. No.
Are you saying no? Are you telling me, Miss Hooley, that when Greg Hempel comes home dressed as Victor, you're thinking, why not?
Listen, you tell me right now, what kind of world do you two creeps like me live in? Now, you come up the road dressed as an old guy, I'll come up the road with that Miss Hooley outfit.
As a nursery
Don't forget
teacher.
she's called Miss Hooley. She's not wanting a partner. She's out there. But, and if she was going out with anybody, excuse me, it'd be PC Plum.
Exactly.
So,
I'm the TV husband.
There's a lot
Yes.
of questions about that.
I bet
coming
there
your
is.
way.
Yes, there is.
Fire away.
If you've got a question for PC Plum or for Miss Hooley, they're here with us this morning on The Breakfast Show. You can text the word show and your question to 61054, or you can give us a call on this number.
Yes, 0333 2024.
20th anniversary of the hit TV show Balamory, which ran for 4 seasons from 2002 to 2006. I'm guessing, PC Plum?
Yes, that's correct.
My kids were toddlers at the time, so they grew up with PC Plum and Miss Hooley, and they're both here in the studio with us this morning. And I'm just as excited because I think I watched nearly every single episode because my kids were toddlers at the time.
Aw.
And yes, I did have a thing for PC Plum.
Hey!
Look how you completely dinged me there.
It's the uniform, though, isn't it?
It is the uniform.
He was saying earlier, he's like that, well, I hope he comes in with a police outfit on. I was like, he has that.
Well, do you know what? I might have kind of brought something.
Have you?
Have you?
Well, I thought I might. Shall I show you?
Yeah.
Right,
He's actually got a bag.
Have you got?
Tell me
Le
this is...
sac magique.
Oh.
Ta-da!
It's got the PC Plum hat.
I'm not getting it on, mind you.
You thought this through with your headphones.
There we are.
There you go.
Look. Oh, it's like Live Aid.
Oh my goodness, now you're...
It's PC Plum.
Yay.
It's PC Plum.
There he is.
Honestly, the hat. Will you suit that hat? Let's be
Well,
honest.
It's been on my head a long time.
Is that the actual hat?
Of course it is.
Did you steal that?
Yes.
Did you
Right,
steal
now,
that
quiet.
from the BBC
I-
props department?
I was given it,
So you are.
and then I just hung on to it.
Oh man, look at you! You have not changed in 20 years with
Oh,
that hat
stop
on.
it.
You are
Thank
still PC Plum.
Listen, now and again, out of work actors, he's been doing a lot of stripograms and stuff.
Does Miss Hooley pull out her costume at any point?
I'm telling you, no.
No. Do you have the Miss Hooley costume in the house?
I don't have the costume. We're not allowed to obviously dress up as those characters because they're not our characters. I've got a cardigan that made its way into my bag on the last day, but I can think I'm getting one of my boobs into that now. So there's
So just like PC Plum, you thieved a cardigan.
yeah, it was gifted to me
Yeah.
from the wardrobe department. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
If you were to put that on eBay, what do you think you get for that hat?
Oh,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
lot.
I mean, it's done the lot because there was only one hat. We had lots of different costumes, but we only had
The one hat. So that is a
it's-
hat that went through 256 episodes.
It really did. I mean, look at
It's
it. It looks
foosty.
it, doesn't it?
For your listeners, there's big foosty
Oh,
bits.
there's actually chunks coming off.
It's
looking at it.
well worn. Yeah.
Let's leave that.
What is that falling off your hat?
I don't know what it is.
As the question of the day, please vote. It's foosty.
Well, do you know what? It's been everywhere. It's,
Oh, it has.
yeah.
It's got a story.
It's
It's
got
got
a
a
certainly
story.
has. That is the story.
Do you take the hat with you out often?
No,
No.
no. It's not really seen the light of day for a while.
Okay, when do you normally get the hat out?
For things like this.
And on a Friday.
Well, yes.
It's a bit of a ridge. He
Not
goes to
this Sunday, to be
housewarmings with on. Will I get the hat half?
Right, we've got some questions for you from listeners who are
Yes.
delighted that you're here with us this morning. So, Kat, you've got those questions.
Okay, Miss Hoolie, I'll start with you. Kathleen Bust wants to know, did you have real sweets in the sweet shop and did you get to pinch any?
There was real sweets at the start, and then we were told stop eating them, and then there were Fusty sweets. So that was it.
Yeah, they didn't renew the sweets.
Yeah.
Hazel Tag wants to know, PC Plum, have you two ever snogged in real life?
Miss Hoolie and I.
Yes.
Well, there is a story about that actually.
Is there a story?
And there's well, when you say snog, remember we're on kids' TV. Come on now. But
A little kiss.
yeah, a little kiss. We actually kiss in one of the episodes.
Yes.
Towards the end. Spoiler alert. But I don't know. It's not. I don't think that's on iPlayer yet. I think that one's called The Wedding, isn't it? Where you're the bridesmaid and I'm the best man, and then you catch the bouquet of flowers.
She's
and then
always the bridesmaid.
And we have, yes, and we have a little peck. But,
Yes.
but before that, we did as a joke when we were filming an episode called Sailing, which is one of my favourite episodes actually. I went out on a yacht, and the end of it, we were just cheersing some mugs with tea in it and everything, and we were just kind of going, "Oh, this is lovely, isn't it, Miss Hoolie? Fantastic!" And then that was the end of the episode. So one of the takes, we decided we were going to be minxing.
Andy decided.
And we went, "This is lovely, Miss Hoolie," and we totally leant into each other and winched. We obviously never seen the light of day, but
Yes.
we did it
Smash.
for the
That's
crew
the
and the
late night
director
cut.
and all.
But it has been filmed and it might be sitting somewhere in an archive.
Someone has it
Yes,
in a
it
cave.
has.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hazel, who asked that question, added a PS and it said, PC Plum, I would, nay bother.
Oh, come on now.
That's it, Hazel.
Look at the hat, Hazel. Look at the hat.
She's talking about a wee snog, obviously.
Oh,
Yes.
clearly.
Here's
clearly.
quite an existential one. Gary Dixon wants to know, what is the actual story?
Oh!
That's up to you.
Isn't that a
That
good
what
question?
is the actual story?
What's
I
the
think that's
story
the
in
point of
Balamory?
it. Is
is the
it's up to
story?
you and the kid. We tell a story, but the story's up to the kids. It's up to you.
Yeah.
He's trying to get all heavy there. I'm cutting straight to it.
Well, I think the story is about education.
Oh no,
I
it
think it's
isn't.
about.
That's a great question. So what
Isn't it?
was the
What
story?
is the story in Balamory?
It's yeah.
You can apply it to anything, can't you? Like, what's the story about how late we were this morning? It's like, I think that's what Brian Jameson, who created the series, wants it to be. It's this. We tell that wee story in that time, but what's the story's like everything, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, what's your story? What's your story? What's your story?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's quite a good answer, Julie.
Thanks very much. I actually went to drama school. Everybody. I've got a
Julie,
BA.
Julie and Andrew are here with us this morning. Miss Hoolie and PC Plum, 20 years of Balamory. More with them next, and we'd like to get more of your questions as well. You can text the word show and your question for the 20th anniversary of Balamory to 61054. Don't forget to put your name on the text or drop us a message on Facebook.
Clyde 2.
Taking his hat off,
Yeah.
which is a
Getting warm.
shame.
It's getting a bit warm.
Do you mind if I play the piece of music again?
No,
Yeah.
go for it.
Are you not sick of hearing it?
Nah,
No, you still like it, aye?
I still like it. I still get wee goosebumps to it.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm 50 now, though. I'm just taking my kicks well
You're
I can.
not 50.
Yes,
You're
I am.
50?
Yes.
You look great for 50.
See how I queued that up there? You?
Cat's 50 and so am I.
Thank you.
What are you, PC Plum?
45.
You look great as well for 45.
That was a bit delayed.
I nearly said 46, but I'm not 46 for a few weeks. I'm holding on to 45.
20th anniversary. What's the story, Balamory?
Would you like to know?
It's one of those songs that when you hear it, it's stuck in your head. We were playing the tune yesterday, talking about you coming here today, and all day I found myself singing along to that tune.
It's
just
really catchy, isn't
Isn't
it?
it?
It's brilliant. It's good
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
I did start singing it and then end up singing Auntie Mary had a canary up your leg of your drawers. Because it's quite similar.
That could be a mashup.
Yes. Auntie Mary had a canary. It's quite.
Can I ask this question before we get to more of the questions from the listeners? How did you end up getting the role on Balamory? So how did you end up being Miss Hoolie? How did that come about?
Just an audition, because obviously
Yeah.
we're actors. I think sometimes people thought we were presenters, which was a wee bit annoying. But we're actual actors,
Yeah.
everyone that's in the show. So we just auditioned like everybody
And we
else.
auditioned together actually because
Yeah.
we'd been in separately. I'd been there for quite a while, and there was quite a few Miss Hoolies that were still there, and Julie was one of them. And then at a point, then Miss Hoolie started to kind of disappear, and then at a point, then I said to Julie, "Right, come on, let's work on this together." And the two of us got in a corner and sat down with the scripts and learnt it and organised what we were going to do, and then went into the room and did the scene with the two of us together. and then left because we both went, right, thank you, bye, and we both left, and I was like, oh my goodness, and then about half an hour later, I got a phone call to say that I'd got the part, and I was like, who's playing Miss Hoolie? And we had the same agent at the time, and Anne Coulter said, it's Julie Wilson-Nimmo, and I was like, oh yes, it's Julie.
Amazing. So it was meant. It was absolutely meant. And I take it, for that 4 seasons, it was just a hoot to be on and a joy to be on.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, it sounds cheesy, right? You hear people saying that about shows, but we all genuinely got on. We totally all had a riot together, and then formed these friendships that, you know, because each time we did it, we didn't know if we were doing it again. It was never like you're doing 4 seasons. It was never ever that. It was like season 1, that be it. And let's face it, I've been in plenty of shows and you never see them again. Oh, sorry. So that the fact that it kept going was so great, and going up to Mull bonded us much quicker than a normal telly show because we had to get thrown together.
We did, and the first thing that we filmed was all the songs, so the music videos, if you like, for the show, so all our individual songs, and the coloured song that we do, the Colour Houses, and we Dance by the Water, that was kind of day 1 of filming, so
all the songs were done on day 1?
well, over the first week or so, but we were all in the same location, we were all kind of lined up.
Slagging each other, basically.
And then we all had to then go in front of the camera and dance in front of the Red House. And then do the song. And then I would walk away, and then Julie would come and dance, and then somebody else would do it. So we were all going, what's going on?
That breaks down the barriers quickly, though,
Definitely.
doesn't it?
And then you had to then do it with a jacket, or do it with a scarf, or do it with gloves and different things. So we had lots of different... And then we would just all then go and have a little drink and go...
Slag each other off in the pub.
It sounds amazing. We've got so many questions coming in for you guys, right? So Louise Grattan wants to know, did PC Plum actually do any police work at all? Did you have any crimes to solve?
Now listen, those hedgehogs did not cross the road themselves. Of course they did.
This is
it's all mysteries and finding things, lost scarecrows, but as far as crime... It was always a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding. Oh, those pesky kids. Here's one from Cara Noble. This is a lovely message. My son adored Balamory. He used to climb up with his bottle and lie on the couch and watch it. He then had a Miss Hoolie doll. He used to take her skirt off and put it in her backpack. He's now 18 and pretends not to remember ever watching this. His name is Riley.
Oh,
so, Riley, come on now. Stop kidding on, you didn't take my skirt off. I bet that dolly's like in the back of a wardrobe all manky. The manky Hoolie dolly. Because that story gets brought out when he brings somebody home. Wait till we tell you about the manky Hoolie dolly.
Oh, where's her skirt? Oh, yes.
PC Plum, did you go to Castlehead High?
I did go to Castlehead High.
Oh, well, we've got Joanne Snedden. Or Shedden.
Joanne
Shedden.
Joanne Shedden, yeah.
Do you know her?
I was at school with her.
That's what she says. Her message just says, I went to school with PC Plum.
I did.
That's you can't just leave it there, Joanne. Keeps a bit more than that.
Well, I was terrible at school.
Is that it?
No. Yeah. There we are.
What
Hello, Joanne.
What can you tell us about Joanne?
Not very much. We're quite bored.
Mark seems like that. She's a boot.
Listen, I was a school librarian and I did the school shows. You know, it was Glee when I was at school. That was it. That was exciting as it got.
So now there's 20 years of Balamory. Are you getting the buzz back again? Because people are talking about it. People are reliving those moments, watching the old episodes and remembering their favourite characters. Do you feel like you're reliving it all over again?
Yeah, it's really nice, isn't it?
It's lovely. It was quite emotional from yesterday because it's building up to the anniversary, because I think the episode started on television 20 years ago on like the 1st of September, so it's kind of like now.
Yeah.
So that feeling again, it's lovely. It was emotional. I think it still is quite emotional.
And it is, it's lovely. Like Miles, he was filming, so he couldn't come down to this morning that played Archie, and he was texting me, and I was reading them out to Andy on the train, like wetting ourselves, like things that happened that obviously only we know about. But do you know what I mean? Like, you forget how long ago that was, and even watching it last night with a few Bacardis, you do get quite emotional. You go, I can't believe. Apart from you have to get over how young you were there, and if somebody goes, how skinny were you, one more time? But it's almost like that feeling's still there, and it has kind of stood the test of time. It's lovely.
Yeah, Rod Christensen, who is Spencer, lives in Las Vegas now, so we don't see him at all. We haven't really seen him for about 10 years. He's been back there for about that long. He's now a grandfather to a lovely little Maisie. But he put a TikTok thing on of just because he's not really communicating with anyone or doing anything like this because he's over there. So he just did a little kind of hello with his doll, and he's did a bit of a dance and stuff and said hello everybody and thanks for being such fans. And I was watching it nearly greeting. I was like, oh my God, no, it's just so nice.
Is there dolls of all of you?
Four. There was Josie, me, you.
Yeah, I think
and Rod. There was a Spencer.
Yeah.
And there's Archie. There were small dolls as well of Archie. Yeah, I think
do you have them? Do you have those dolls?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah,
like
I do.
weirdos. I'll go home and play with my doll.
I've got the prototype of my doll that my nephew wipes his nose on. It's literally, there's no glamour at all.
Away, though, haven't we?
I did. So Adam, I've got a 7, well, he's nearly 8, so he got it first, and then Lewis is 3, so he now has it, but it just gets thrown all over the place. I don't think they realise what they've got.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute delight having you here this morning. Even though you were 10 minutes late, it has been a joy to have you here and to see you both smiling from ear to ear, reliving those amazing memories from 20 years ago. Julie and Andrew, thank you so much for coming in. Miss Hoolie and
so
PC
much
Plum.
for
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
You're
Thanks a
welcome.
lot.